YouTube, it's your boy Estefanos, and welcome back to the channel. Um, so I, so this is my first video where starting this video. Well, this is probably gonna be a one-off thing, but for now, yeah. But like today, we'll be talking about a movie, and I mean, who doesn't like talking about movies? You feel me? So yeah, today we'll be talking about a movie that hasn't been out long, but it's quite known. We'll be talking about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the sequel to the well-acclaimed Oscar award-winning Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Now, for those who have seen Into the Spider-Verse, you know that it's one of the best animated movies. Like I said, it won an Oscar, and and it and it's like this, and it's like I like how do you describe a movie like it? Like everyone have said so many things about it online, but like I'm trying to think of things that haven't been said. Well, it is by far. I like when I first saw it when I was like 12, 11. I didn't really like it because at the time I didn't really understood the multiverse or didn't like superheroes movies that much, or in general didn't like anything animated. But at first I didn't really like it. But as the years went on and I got older and I started understood the multiverse more, I realized that this is actually a good movie and that I can really relate to these characters. But like I would really consider that I related like out of all the people I would say I relate to is Miles Morales, who is the main protagonist of this franchise. In Into the Spider-Verse, Miles was bitten by a radioactive spider when he was doing graffiti with his uncle Aaron. He didn't think much after the spider bite and just smacked it and then just went about his day. But when the next day things started to go wrong, he found he had outgrown his pants. He could his thoughts the voice in his head was extremely loud, and he had a really he found that he had a very sticky texture to his hands, and that it and that he was freaking out because like he couldn't understand what was happening to him. But like he soon and so he went back to the to the spot where his uncle took him to do the graffiti, and he found the spider. And he hoped it was a regular spider, but he soon found out it was a radioactive spider. But what you all know that once you get bit by a radioactive spider, you go on a journey to become Spider-Man. But the crazy thing was that Miles's universe, he already had a Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and Miles, who was still getting used to his powers, went deeper into the tunnel and discovered the Alchemax Collider, a machine that uses quantum holes to to tore rips in the multiverse, where it was being funded by Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, who was trying to like open up the multiverse, open up to another universe where he could find another version of his son and wife who were killed in an accident, who he blames Spider-Man for. However, however, when Spider-Man was fighting the Prowler and the Green Goblin, he 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 saw Miles falling and he had to save him. So then that result and due to the explosion of the Collider, it resulted in Peter Parker dying. But not before dying, he gave Miles the drift to the hard drive overdrive key, where he had override key that would kill that would destroy the Collider, and made Miles promise him to destroy it at all costs. And throughout the movie, Miles learns to become a hero, but he deals with the social pressure of living up to his Peter Parker. But he soon meets up with an alternate Peter Parker, Peter B. Parker, who reluctantly shows him the ropes of being Spider-Man, and like, and along with other versions, along with Gwen Stacy, Spider Noir, Penny Parker, and Spider Ham. And soon together they were able to like destroy the Collider, and Miles was able to send them all home and defeat Kingpin. that was Into the Spider-Verse. Now, fast forward a year later, and Across the Spider-Verse, Miles has now gotten used to being Spider-Man. He has a new suit. He's made he's doing quite well, and he's gotten used to being a hero. However, though, he's like every Spider-Man. He's dealing with the typical problem where he often misses out on family events, uh, and keeps on flunking on it, and he's flunking in his classes, and it's upsetting his parents, who can't understand why Miles is acting like this, and are extremely hard on him, which is understandable for parents. But however, but while this is all happening, Miles can't help but feel that no one in his universe really understands what he's going through, and so that's until reappears in his life, and has told him that she has joined a group of spider people who have been charged with protecting the multiverse's existence. Well, before she met Miles, before she ran into Miles again, in her universe, she too was dealing with the grief. She was still mourning over the death of her version, Peter Parker, who had became the Lizard because he was tired of being bullied. But Gwen didn't know, and which ended up accidentally killing him. But in her universe, George Stacy, her father, was the police captain, and is sent out a warrant for Spider-Woman's arrest. But when he found out Spider-Woman was his daughter, he was still willing to arrest her. But thanks to some of the Spider people from the Spider Society, Jess Drew, also Spider-Woman, and then Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara. And Miguel, not understanding what Gwen has been through, accepts her into the club. But however, Gwen is still unsure. Gwen feels extreme. And then Gwen joins the Spider Society. And the reason she came to Miles' universe is to deal with the Spot. Spot, who is a supervillain that has quantum holes all over his body, which was the cause of the explosion of the Collider in the first movie. And he blames Miles for it, and his vow of vengeance. And he soon is able to travel to all these dimensions to get to which all have Alchemaxes in them to use to power up his portals. And so Miles follows Gwen after the Spot to Earth 5101, which is Moonbatten, a Mumbai version of New York, they team up with that version's Spider-Man, Pavita Pravarkar, Spider-Man India, and so they fight him off, they fight him off, but it's shown that Spot has gotten powerful, even with the help of Spider-Punk, Hobie Brown, and he's such a G, and he at first he seems like a dick, but when you realize what kind of person he is, then he slowly starts to grow with him. But to me, where things really got serious was when Miles saves the police captain of Moonbatten, Inspector Singh, which is Spider-Man's India's girlfriend's dad. However, the Spider people are quite upset with Miles for doing this because he disrupted a canon event. For those of you who don't know what a canon event is, it's basically a fixated event that must happen in every Spider person's life for their universe to maintain stability. And Miguel broke this by invading another universe who already had a Miguel, who had just died, so he could be with his daughter. But because of that, it caused that universe to eradicate and to be decimated. And unfortunately, Peter B. Parker was actually there, who at this point had made things up with MJ, and had a daughter named Mayday. And at the Spider Society, Miguel explains canon events to Miles, and he soon explains that in 2 days his father would die in a battle from a battle with Spot when he saves a little kid. Miles, being the G he is, of course doesn't want that to happen because it's his dad. But Miguel tells him it's for the great. He either saves his dad and risks his universe, or he saves or he lets him die for the greater good. But Miles believes he can do both. And so the whole movie is basically Miles fighting for his identity and showing that he is deserving of the mask. But me personally, as much as a lot of people would say it's better to that what Miguel's saying is true, and I'm not denying what Miguel's saying, but to me personally, I'm on Miles' side because like when you really think about it, how Miles, it's not really Miles' fault that he got bit by the spider that wasn't from his universe, you know? In the first movie, like it was glitching out. To be honest, I didn't catch that until like recently. I rewatched the first movie, and like I honestly thought that was part of the spider's abilities, or that was just like that was how he got his electrical powers. Because everyone knows that Miles Morales has lightning powers. However, that wasn't the case, and because of Miles getting bitten by the radioactive spider that wasn't from his universe, his version of Peter Parker died. The rift in the multiverse wouldn't has happened. Spot exists, and then there's a universe that doesn't have a Spider-Man. But Miles believes that he will save both the universe, save the multiverse, and his dad, which honestly is quite questionable right now. Since, for those of you who don't know, this movie ends on a cliffhanger, and but and so it's quite hard to really talk about this movie since it doesn't really have an actual ending. But if you were to ask me which I would prefer, either Into the Spider-Verse or Across, I would say Across the Spider-Verse. I know it's not a completed movie, but to me personally, I enjoyed Across the Spider-Verse more because the story felt perfect for where I'm at. Because like I've told you guys, I'm 17. Miles in this movie is 15. So we're both literally around the same age range. And we're both just trying to figure out who we are and what we want to do for our lives. But the whole world is literally just telling us what we should do and how we should live our lives. And that's Miles, and part of Miles' whole story for fighting his belief in is fighting for his identity as Spider-Man, showing that he can write his own story. But I'll save most of that for a future video. For right now, I would say this movie is better than the first one, even though it's not incomplete. But first of all, let's talk about the animation. Somehow it's way better than Into the Spider-Verse. Into the Spider-Verse compared to this literally is like a glimpse. Like it's like it doesn't feel like it. Into the Spider-Verse to me somehow doesn't feel like the first movie. It feels like a pilot, because of course it's the origin story for Miles, and this is like the start of a new trilogy. But the fact that the animation is better and that it helps the story is amazing to me. Immaculate. I can't I have no words to describe it. But I would say though that I love the character. I love how everything that wasn't touched so much in the first one expanded more. Like Gwen, the multiverse, Miguel O'Hara. Everything is just better. I'll admit I would say that I'm also kind of upset that Peter B is on Miguel's side. Was at Miguel's side in the beginning of the movie, but I wouldn't really, because he did witness the universe collapse. But I would say overall he's still the same the same character from the first movie. But if I was to like rank every character, I would say Miles is first, then Gwen. Okay, I feel like it's a crime if I don't put Hobie in. Like, if I was to rank every character, I would rank Miles, Hobie, Gwen, Peter, Marco, Peter B, Jeff, Rio, Miguel, Jess, and the Spot is probably there. Like, not as like he's not bad or anything. In fact, I honestly enjoyed him more than Kingpin. And they both like almost. I feel, and what I love about this franchise is that every villain feels the same. Like they're all the same in a way. Kingpin wanted to reunite with his family after they died, but and so he tried to take another universe's version of them. It's the same thing with Miguel, except he caused the death of the whole entire universe with his daughter in it. But honestly, this movie is like my top favorite movie of all time, in that it's it's literally my favorite movie of all time, in that it motivates me. And the end credits are just so beautiful. Like, dude, I just have no like I can't explain how beautiful it is. Like you feel the moment. You feel like Miles. You feel like you're Miles swinging. Just your mind is like I just can't explain it. Like the fact that Miles was an anomaly is amazing, perfect. The smartest thing to do with a character like him. And also Gwen. A lot of people hate her because she didn't tell Miles he was a mistake. I honestly don't blame her, and I don't hate her as much. At first I was upset, but now when I think about it, you can't really blame her. And before any of you like start saying because she lied, Peter lied too, right? So you're not the only one. She's not the only one. Ha! That's literally what she said in the opening. But yeah. But if I was to rate this movie, I would rate it a 9 out of 10. There's so much other stuff I could say, but I just wanted to say the things that I loved the most about the movie. The rest I would say I want to save for a future video, because I don't want to make this video too long. It's already like 16 minutes, almost 17. But with that, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and give me your feedback. And also, what are your guys' favorite superhero movie? In fact, what's your favorite superhero animated movie? To be exact. And would you say this movie is on top to being the top 5 superhero movies of all time? And would you say which one? And also, which one would you prefer? Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse? Let me know on both Instagram, Snapchat, and the comments. Make sure, and I hope, and for that, with that, have a good day and take care.